Ashtavakra and King Janak. Detachment is one of the qualities developed in the art of meditation. It is only possible to be detached if one practices soul consciousness. In the following story, taken from the Mahabharata, we are shown how one is able to conquer attachment in life. In this story, Ashtavakra proves that neither size nor age are indications of one's knowledge. King Janak of Videha was a king well known for his knowledge, charity, and sanctity. He lived in a splendid palace but wished to live the life of a renunciate. He wanted to live in the world but remain detached from it. He made it known that he would listen to anyone in his kingdom who could tell him the method of receiving liberation in life, Jivan Mukti, within a second. All the Brahmins and scholars from far and wide came to visit him and gave very learned discourses and scholarly lectures, but no one was able to fulfill the king's request. He was disappointed and thought of giving up the whole idea, for the scholars had not given any concrete solutions to his problem. At the king's palace, the discussions were still in progress, open to all. Having listened to all the sages and scholars, the king had announced that anyone else who thought that he might have the correct answer to the problem and who could satisfy his thirst for knowledge was welcome to speak. He then asked Ashtavakra whether he had something to contribute. Yes, said Ashtavakra. But your majesty, before I reveal to your highness the words of God's wisdom, I must say something about this gathering. I hope that none of you will be angered by my frankness. I must call a spade a spade. The sages looked tense. Some of them grinned, others were seen grinding their teeth, and others again were gnawing their fingers or nibbling at their nails. In contrast, the king sat calm and composed, listening attentively and patiently. Continuing on, Ashtavakra said, "Forgive me for my rudeness, your royal highness, royal sages. I respect you all for your learning and wisdom, but may I ask you why you all laughed so scornfully when you saw me entering the courtyard? Wasn't it because of my crawling and deformity of my body? I am sure it was my ugly body with its bends and twists that made you mock me. Doesn't this then speak rather eloquently of your body consciousness?" They now all appeared to be realizing their mistake, but the expressions of scorn had not yet disappeared totally from their faces. The ugly man continued, "Am I wrong to point out that soul consciousness is the means for spiritual progress and enlightenment? Therefore, if anyone looks at the body without seeing the soul and instead of feeling sorry for another's fate, hatefully laughs at his condition, would you call him a sage? No. He looks only at the outer flesh, the skin, and therefore I would have to call him a dealer in skin." At that moment, King Janak decided to mount his horse and leave the court. He had one foot on the strip and the other foot on the ground. When Ashtavakra asked him, "O king, where are you?" King Janak replied, "On the horse and on the ground, but not fully on either." Ashtavakra said, "What you are now saying is Brahmagyan, the knowledge of Jivan Mukti. The conqueror of attachment will be in the world but not of the world. While living in the world, the soul will be mentally detached." On hearing this, King Janak achieved enlightenment and became even more respected than the many famous sages around him.